Hey guys, Daniel Madison, taking a minute to chat with you about what the requirements are for making access into a tenant occupied home. It's a common question that we get from folks as they're looking at homes to rent. They want to know, how often do you make access? What are the requirements for letting a landlord or a property manager into my property, my home, because when they rent it, it becomes their home. And so it's a common question. We get quite a few questions as well from landlords about how often they can make access and what the requirements are with that. The South Carolina Landlord Tenant Act in South Carolina has some specific language that talks about access. The general rule of thumb is a 24-hour notice is what you want to provide in order to make tenant access. Many times we provide much more notice when we're providing routine service and evaluations. But the Landlord Tenant Act does note that it's a 24-hour notice, and it's only during business hours, and they describe business hours as 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. unless there is service work being done that the tenant has requested, and then those hours extend with that. I'll tell you a story about a colleague of mine. He was renting a home. He's a property manager. He rented a home, and tenant had been in just a short time period, and as he was driving by one day, he saw two police officers pulling into the driveway of the home. And so as a property manager, he stopped to see what was going on, and upon stopping, he realized that the tenant was standing in the yard and she had somebody at gunpoint that was laying on the ground. The closer he looked at who she had on the ground, he realized that it was the landlord and the owner of the property. And so as the police officers got there and got it all sorted out, they realized that the tenant had made a report the day before that someone had been on the property. She was not familiar with them, and that she felt unsafe. And then the next day she was at home, and same person was back again and was on the property, and she actually held him at gunpoint until the time that the police got there. The landlord was actually charged with trespassing and was issued a trespass notice as a result of the outcome of that. And so many times landlords want to know or want to go to a property, and they say it's okay, it's on the outside. And actually that tenant, when they rent the property, they actually rent the whole property. So the outside, the inside, unless it's excluded in the lease, they have rights to all of it, and they have the right to enjoy that property without intrusion unless there's proper notice given. And even with that proper notice, it has to be for good reason. There's a few exceptions to that with emergencies and a few other things, but that is the general rule for access. It's an important topic. It's one that we get asked about a lot, and I just want to take a minute and share with you. Again, Daniel Madison, appreciate you tuning in. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.